what the Look familiar? Well, do I have good news for you. The EU has built one of the strongest consumer protection frameworks in the world, and it should help with all these issues and more. We'll cover 6 parts, each corresponding to a specific consumer right. We've included chapters for this video for that exact reason as well. But do make sure to stick around until the end of the video, where we'll share a secret on how you can actually dispute decisions made by companies. Without further ado, let's start with the basics. The simplest form of consumer protection is, well, when you buy something. I actually need a new iron for my clothes, as you can see, so let me order one online.
Here we encounter our very first consumer right of the day, the 14-day right of withdrawal. If, for whatever reason, you change your mind about an item you've bought, you can send it back to the store you bought it from. No justification needed. To be clear, this 14-day return period only applies to products bought online. And there are exceptions, of course, like personalized products, perishable goods like food, and hotel bookings. Now, imagine a year has passed. I'm ironing away like my life depends on it, and my iron ends up breaking. After much frustration because I needed to iron my favorite shirt before a trip, I encounter another consumer right, the 2-year guarantee. Under EU law, every product you buy from a professional seller comes with a minimum 2-year legal guarantee. This covers physical goods, including second-hand items, and digital content like apps, games, and cloud subscriptions.
If a product turns out to be faulty or doesn't match what was advertised, the trader must repair it, replace it, reduce the price, or give you a complete refund. And definitely no, that's not our policy excuses. So, after sorting all that out, I can finally take my long-awaited trip and with an iron shirt. Travel is one of the areas where things can go wrong most visibly and, well, frustratingly. A cancelled train ride or a package holiday that falls apart, an airline offering you a voucher whilst you could be getting a full refund for them cancelling your trip to Tallinn. The EU has rules covering all of it. And those rules for air transport are getting a major overhaul.
EU law already gives you the right to rerouting, the right to assistance, and the right to compensation when your flight is cancelled or significantly delayed. For example, if your flight arrives more than 3 hours late or gets cancelled less than 14 days before departure, you are entitled to financial compensation. €250 for routes under 1,500 kilometers, €400 for journeys up to 3,500 kilometers, and €600 for anything longer. While you wait, the airline must provide you with refreshments, a meal, and if you need to stay overnight, hotel accommodations with transport to get there. But things are about to get even better. On 15 June 2026, the Council and the European Parliament reached a landmark agreement to modernize these rules, closing the book on a lengthy negotiation process. These are the highlights of what's going to change. The rerouting right will be enhanced, where airlines will have to offer an alternative route within 3 hours of disruption. If they fail to do so, you will be able to arrange your own rerouting and claim back up to 400% of your original ticket cost. And prices will be more transparent. Airlines must display fares that include a piece of hand baggage by default before you even start booking, so you can actually compare them on equal terms. And to be very clear, the old and new rules apply to passengers on all flights operated by EU carriers and on flights operated by airlines departing from the EU.
Hopefully, getting reminded of everything that can go wrong during a trip doesn't dissuade you from going. Because there are more rights protecting you when you decide to visit another country. Open your phone once you get off the plane, train or bus and you will notice it instantly. Roaming.
Since 15 June 2017, consumers have been able to travel across the 27 EU countries plus Iceland, Liechtenstein and Norway and remain connected through their phones just as they do at home. This is even possible in Ukraine and Moldova now too, as of this year, 2026.
And do people actually use their phones normally when traveling through the EU? Well, according to the statistics, yes. 80% of EU travelers use their phone the same way and as frequently as they do at home whilst they're on a trip. I mean, fair enough, I know I need my dopamine fix.
In concrete terms though, what does remaining connected just like at home mean? It means that there are no volume restrictions on voice calls and text messages when traveling abroad. Data is a little bit more complicated. If you have a standard contract, the data bundle you have travels with you. But if your plan is very cheap or comes with unlimited data, your operator may apply a fair use data limit while you're roaming, though any surcharge beyond that is capped at €1.30 per gigabyte. The short version, calls and texts fully covered, and for data, minimal restrictions but worth a quick check with your provider before you leave. A lot of these laws now seem logical or natural, but that wasn't the case for a very long time.
Another area where you should feel protected is the world of finance. While taking out money when you're on your trip is as easy as ever, when staying in a Eurozone country, the world of finance goes a lot deeper.
Let's say that during my trip I spontaneously decided to stay for a longer period, get registered in a new city and everything. Every EU consumer has the right to open a basic payment account in any EU member state, regardless of where they live. What's more, cross-border payments in euro are charged at the same rate as domestic transactions, so an intra-EU bank transfer costs you no more than a local one.
There really is a whole laundry list of protections and rights when we're dabbling in the world of finance, but once again, way too many to list all of them. So here's a few that I thought were particularly interesting.
Are you a fan of cryptocurrencies? Crypto asset service providers also have certain responsibilities. They need official authorization to operate in the EU, they have to follow strict rules to protect consumers' wallets, and they are held liable if they lose investors' crypto assets.
Now, my crypto investments weren't very successful, but if you were, you could use some of the profits to buy some safe and sustainable products. I mean, if we're staying here for longer, might as well get some stuff that we need, right?
Here's a little fun fact. It is estimated that around 53% of labels like eco-friendly, climate neutral, and made from recycled materials can be categorized as vague, misleading, or flat out false. The EU wouldn't be the EU if it didn't attempt to change this. In 2024, it introduced stricter rules on labeling, as any EU citizen has the right for their products to be safe, sustainable, and repairable. This means that the EU bans specific practices like generic environmental claims such as gentle on the environment, ecological, energy efficient, or biodegradable when recognized excellent environmental performance cannot be demonstrated, for example with an EU eco-label.
All of these measures provide you with clear and accurate information for when you want to buy something that's actually sustainable. Although traveling has been lovely, I think it's time to go back to the studio. I've mentioned quite a list of rights today that exist in the EU, but as we all know, rights aren't always lived up to by the parties involved. What happens when a company does not live up to your expectations? Think of products not being delivered, services not being as they are advertised, or them simply ignoring your complaints and requests. We've all been there, and most of the time we just give up and take the loss. To keep this long video at least a little shorter, the ADR pretty much consists of mechanisms for consumers to settle disputes with companies with the assistance of an impartial dispute resolution body. This measure is in place with the hope of protecting consumers who have fallen victim to unlawful practices and hesitate to take legal action for the reasons I mentioned earlier. If you'd like to know which ADR body is available in your country, make sure to check out the link below. Wow, so that was a lot. If you should remember anything from this video, please let it be this. No matter what you think of the EU, it has objectively made consuming anything in our member states a better, more protected process for all of us. Of course, there's way more about the EU. If you want deeper dives into how the EU works, like why the EU is building a 64-kilometer long tunnel under the Alps, or how trade is the EU superpower, check out the other videos on this channel. New videos will keep coming, so make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more explainers. This has been Elliot. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.